Welcome to the midweek edition of the news in Africa and the world. Mali's Prime Minister Bouba Cissé reached out to the protest movement leader a day after the appointment of a government of 6 ministers, saying it was awaited and strongly desired in a unity government to tackle the country's deep political crisis. Cissé in a statement said, "I hope that this offer of dialogue can be heard by the stakeholders of the M5, not just heard but accepted." But the influential opposition group rejected a proposal by regional mediators ECOWAS. A coalition spokesperson said further protests were inevitable until President Keita stepped down. The UN Security Council has extended its weight behind the Economic Community of West African States' efforts to quell the crisis and come to a compromise that has already led to 11 people dead. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, a platform made up of several movements that campaign for good governance, known as Collective Action of Civil Society, the CASC, have launched a plea for the reform of the Independent National Electoral Commission, CENI. The civil society organization wants a dialogue similar to the Sovereign National Conference, which was organized from 1991 to 1993. The group says within the CENI there are political representations, but they in the civil society wonder at what level, when they become members of the Electoral Commission, do they become independent of their political party. To them, the arbitration of this commission should not belong to any political party, but rather to come from civil society organs. The president of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Ronsa Malonda, though invested by the National Assembly, divides the political class. The UDPS party sees him as an FCC supporter, calling on the President of the Republic to convene a meeting as part of his mission to proper functioning of institutions. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has been officially nominated by his party, the National Resistance Movement, the NRM, as his candidate for the 2021 presidential elections. But his candidacy will have to be approved by the country's Electoral Commission in November. Although the other parties have yet to officially announce candidates for the January elections, Mr. Museveni's main opponent is likely to be a musician and politician, Robert Kyagulanyi, better known as Bobi Wine, who seems to appeal to young voters. If President Museveni runs and wins, he will rule the country for 34 years, will be in power for another 5 years. Zimbabwe's ruling party, ZANU-PF, has threatened the U.S. ambassador with expulsion amid intensifying crackdown on opposition and union activists ahead of planned anti-corruption demonstrations this Friday, July 31. The party spokesman Patrick Chana-Massa accused U.S. Ambassador Brian Nichols of acting like a thug. The U.S. Embassy in Harare had no immediate reaction to the remarks or the threat to expel Ambassador Nichols. The outburst follows criticism from U.S. and other Western powers of last week's arrest of opposition politician as well as a freelance journalist for supporting the call to protest. It is a sign of the degrading relations between the two countries. The United States maintains targeted economic sanctions against Zimbabwe because of what it sees as a poor human rights record. Taking you out of Africa, French airports are conducting systematic coronavirus testing on arrivals from 16 countries deemed at risk, none of which are within the European Union. As of Thursday, France will be putting testing in place for passengers arriving from those countries. 16 countries currently appear on that list. Could measures of containing the virus include quarantine as those imposed by the UK? According to epidemiologists, this will be a counterproductive reaction from France. French authorities have confirmed that no border closures are called for now, but there could be changes if at least the countries are considered at risk. In a similar situation, Hong Kong is setting up the hardest measures it has ever taken to deal with the coronavirus after a spike in new circumstances. According to new measures, gatherings in public is prohibited. Authorities in the densely populated city-states have closed swimming pools and sports services are made obligatory to put on face masks in public. Eating in restaurants is forbidden, but takeaway is allowed. The new restrictions comes as authorities in Hong Kong plan to postpone parliamentary election for 1 year. It has been a month since COVID-19 was detected in Hong Kong and has worsened day by day. Statistics show that 106 new infections have been reported in the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 2,884 and includes at least 23 deaths. The world's largest nuclear fusion project began its 5-year assembly phase on Tuesday in southern France. ITER, the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor Consortium, is a joint effort by India, Japan, the European Union, the United States, South Korea, and China. According to the consortium, it will be the first device to produce net energy, maintain fusion for long periods, and test the integrated technologies, materials, and physics regimes necessary for the commercial production of fusion-based electricity. President Macron said ITER is clearly an act of confidence in the future. Unlike in existing fusion reactors, which split uranium atoms, there is no risk of an uncontrolled chain reaction within fusion, and it doesn't produce long-life radioactive waste. The first ultra-hot plasma is expected to be generated in late 2020. And Attorney General William Barr vigorously defended the Trump's administration deployment of federal agents in response to nationwide protests over racial injustice and of his leadership of the Justice Department. More broadly, as he testified before Congress on Tuesday for the first time in more than a year, the head of this commission, Jerry Nadler, immediately accused him of helping and supporting the worst mistakes of the Republican president. Without deviating from the coolness that characterized him, Bill Barr presented him as a defender of rule of law, echoing the Republican president whose hopes to win a second term in November 3 with a focused statement on law and order. That's it. Thank you very much for choosing the news to be informed in Africa and the world. Until we meet again, do take care and stay safe.